Welcome to Wonder Math. Today I'm going to go over SAT practice test number 7, section 3. Here's the formula that will be given to you on each section of the math. And there are 20 questions for 25 minutes, no calculator for section 3. Number 1, the equation above relates the number of minutes X Maria spends running each day, so X is running time in minutes, and the number of minutes Y she spends biking each day. So in the equation, what does the number 25 represent? So you add these two to get 75, so it's a total number of minutes that she runs and bikes. So the number of minutes she spent running each day, no biking, no. Total number of minutes she spent running and biking each day. So it is C. The number of minutes spent biking for each minute spent running, no. So it is C. Which of the following is equivalent to 3x plus 5 minus 6? So you distribute 3x plus 15 equals to negative 6. So 3x, 15, oh, this is just minus, I'm sorry. So 15 minus 6 is plus 9. 3x plus 9, C. So which of the ordered pairs satisfy the system of equations shown above? So since X is given, I'm going to go ahead and substitute my X. So Y minus 3 is X over 2 plus 2Y equals to 6. To make it easier, just go ahead and multiply everything by 2. So I can get rid of the denominator. So Y minus 3 plus 4Y equals to 12. So when I combine the like terms, I get 5y equals to add 3 on both sides. So I get 15. So now you divide by 5 and 5. So you get y equals to 3. So anything with y equals to 3, it must be B. You can plug it in. 3 minus 3, x is 0. So you can double check that B is the solution for the system of equation. Which of the following complex number is equal to that? So if you have a negative in front of the parentheses, make sure you distribute negative to all the terms inside the parentheses. So if I rewrite it, it's 5 plus 12i minus 9i squared and plus, right? Negative times negative is positive 6i. So when you combine like terms, I get 5 plus 18i, and so there's no I squared. I squared is square root of negative 1 times square root of negative 1, so it becomes negative 1. Something to just memorize if you are not sure how to multiply square root of negative 1 times square root of negative 1. You cannot have a square root of negative number, so that's why it's called I, imaginary number. So now what do I have? It's minus 9 times negative 1. So it's negative 9. So it's plus 9. Minus negative 9 is plus 9. So I get 18i with 14. 5 plus 9. So 14 plus 18i is the answer. 5. What is value of f of negative 1? So x is negative 1, so plug it in. Negative 1 squared is 1. Minus 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So minus negative 6 is plus 6. Plus 3. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 in denominator. On top I get 7 plus 3 is 10. So I have negative 5. A. 6, a company that makes wildlife videos purchased a camera equipment for $32,400. That's pretty expensive. Wow. The equipment depreciates in value at a constant rate for 12 years. So constant rate means what? It decreased by same amount, so it will have a common difference. So we know it will be a linear function for 12 years. After which is considered to have no mandatory value, so that means it becomes 0. how much is the camera equipment worth 4 years after it is purchased? So in 12 years, it becomes 0. So in 4 years, what I will do is 4 out of 12 will be depreciated by reduced, decreased by 1/3 of it, right? It will just have a 1/3 value depreciated. That means it's 2/3 of the value, right? 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3, so 2/3 of 32,400, right? So it decreased by 12 years and became 0 from 32,400. So in 4 years, which is, this is 4, 4, 4, it will be now what? 2/3 of the whole value, right? So then you double it first, or let's divide it by 3 first. So then I get 1, 0, 8, 0, 0, right? When you divide by 3, it's 1, 0, 3 times 8 is 24, and you double it, right? Times 2, so it's 2, 1, 6, 0, 0. So it is C. Remember section 3, you cannot use calculator, so these basic calculations you should know how to do it by hand. 7, which of the expression is equivalent to the expression above? So it must be plus, so here must be plus. X plus 3 squared is x squared plus 3x, so this is x plus 3 times x plus 3, right? It's not x squared and 9. You have to FOIL it, so you get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9, which is x squared plus 6x plus 9. 6x plus 9 is this, but to make it 4 from 9, you have to subtract 5, right? So it must be minus 5. B. Ken is working this summer as part of a crew on the farm. He earned $8 per hour for the first 10 hours he worked this week. Because of his performance, his crew leader raised his salary to $10 per hour for the rest of the week. Ken saves 90% of his earning from each week. What is the least number of hours he must work the rest of the week to save at least $2,700? So at least 270 means greater or equal to 270. And he is saving 90%, meaning if you write it in decimal, move 2 decimal to the left. So 0.9 of what? He made what? $8 for 10 hours. That's, he already earned it, right? Plus, now he's making 10 hours, $10 per hour, but we don't know how many hours he needs to work. So I can put there X. So distribute 0.9. So I get 72 plus 9x. Right, 0.9 times 10 is 90, and move 1 decimal to the left. Greater or equal to 270. So now subtract 72 from both sides. So I get 9x must be greater or equal to 198, right? 70 minus 72 is minus 2. So from 200, it is 198. Divide by 9, divide by 9. I get x must be greater or equal to 22, right? 198 divided by 9 is 218, so 18 is 22, at least 22 hours. 9, Marissa needs to hire at least 10 staff members for her upcoming project, at least 10. So least means greater or equal to 10. The staff members will be made up of junior directors who will be paid $6.40 per hour, and senior directors who gets paid $8.80 per hour per week. Oh, not hour. Yeah, I was like, that's a lot, right? It's per week. Her budget for paying the staff member is no more than, so that means less than or equal to $970. she must hire at least 3 juniors directors and at least 1 senior directors. Which of the following system of inequality represents the condition described if X is the number of junior directors and Y is the number of senior directors? So X plus Y, total number must be greater or equal to 10. And the money, so junior gets $640 per week. So $640 times X plus $880 for seniors, $880 Y. So let's just look at those two first. So X plus Y is greater or equal to 10, not less than. So that's right. That's good. That's not right. It must be less than or equal to 9,700. So that's greater. So it must be B. And it also said at least 3 junior directors. So meaning X must be greater or equal to 3. Y is least 1. So greater or equal to 1. So it is B. 10. In the equation above, A, B, C, and D are constant. If the equation has roots of -1, -3, and 5, so the roots means the solution, -1, -3, and 5. So it goes through those X minus. I don't exactly know the shape, but it has to go through it. So then what is the factor of it? So how do we write it? This must have a factor of X plus 3 because we want to know when this becomes 0. This is X plus 1. You can have other numbers added, but you have to have these factors, -5. Because whenever you have 5, it becomes 0. So this will become 0, right? 5 minus 5. So which one should be a factor? It must be X plus 1. You don't have X minus 5, neither X plus 3. So it has B. 11, the expression X raised to -2, Y raised to 1/2, divided by that, where X is greater than 1, Y is greater than 1, which one is equivalent? So this, you can rewrite it as X raised to -2. If it's in denominator, you subtract. Okay? And Y, you start from the top, 1/2. In denominator, you minus it, but it's negative. Minus -1 is plus 1. So you end up getting X raised to, so -2 is same thing as -6/3 with common denominator of 3. So that is -7/3. And Y, this is 1 is 2/2. So 1/2 plus 2/2 is 3/2. So now you just find it. So X must be in denominator because X is negative. So what does this mean? If you get confused, just write it out. Okay? What I can do is this is X to the -7. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's cube rooted, right? Its denominator is the number of roots. So if you see 3, you can take it out as 1. So there's 3, 1. Here's 3, another 1. So it's X times X, X squared. And you have cube root of X in denominator, right? You used to have X inside. And here it is what? Y, Y, Y. But now you square root it. So you can take out 1 as 1. 2 Y's as 1. So it's Y, square root of Y on top. So it's this, or that. And the denominator, you have X squared, cube root of X. The function f is defined by f of x equals to x plus 3, x minus 1. The graph of f in the xy plane is a parabola. So this one will look like this. So when does this become 0? When it's -3. When will this become 0? When it's -1. So, and it's positive. X times x is positive. So it will open up. So it will look something like that. Okay. So what's the question? Which of the following interval contains the x coordinate of the vertex? The vertex must be between -1 to -3, or from the least to greatest, from -3 to -1. So -3 to -1, right? The other one will not have any of the other any of these regions. So it is from -3 to 1. Yeah, it contains the vertex. So it is B. Which of the following expression is equivalent to that? It seems like we have to do the long division, right? Change the form of the fractions. So x squared minus 2x minus 5 divided by x minus 3. You first look at the leading terms to make this equal to that. So you multiply by x. So it's x squared minus 3x, and you subtract that. Because our goal is to get rid of the x squared, the leading term. So now, -2x minus 3x is plus 3x, so I get x, and you just carry down the next term. So now x and x, so it's just +1. So when you multiply 1 by x minus 3, you get x minus 3. So when you subtract, this is gone. -5 minus -3 is plus 3, so you get -2 as a remainder. So it becomes -2 remainder over whatever you divide it by, and add x plus 1. That becomes like a whole number. So where do you have -2 and -2 and x plus 1? So it's D. Right? A shipping service restricts the dimension of the boxes it will ship for the certain types of service. The restriction states that for boxes shaped like rectangular prism, the sum of the perimeter of the base of the box and the height of the box cannot exceed 130 inches. The perimeter of the base is determined using the width and length of the box. Yes, of course. If the box has a height of 60, if the box has a height of 60 and its length is 2.5 times the width, so if the length is 2.5 times the width, let's say width is x, so then this is 2.5x. Which inequality shows the allowable width of x in inches for the box? Okay. So it says the sum of the perimeter and the height cannot be more than 130. So if height is 60, that means 130 minus 60 is the allowance of the perimeter, right? So that is 70. So the perimeter must be less than or equal to, right? Perimeter must be less than 70 because can't be more than 70. So less than towards this way, to the right. So what's the perimeter of this? If this is x, this is x. This is 2.5x. So when you add it, x plus x is 2x. 2.5x plus 2.5 is 5x. So it is 7x total. So 7x is the perimeter of the base. So now divide by 7 from both sides. So it has to be less than or equal to 10. And can be negative, right? Length is not, can be negative. Measurement cannot be negative, so it is 0 to 10. 15, the expression 1/3 x squared minus 2 can be rewritten as the difference of squares, right? Remember, if you have a squared minus b squared, it equals to a plus b times a minus b. This comes a lot in SAT and all the other upper math courses, so please remember the difference of squares. So here, so if these are equivalent, if we took out 1/3, so 1/3 of x squared minus what? We just got to figure this out. So 1/3 times what makes it -2? Minus 6, right? 1/3 times minus 6 will be -2. So it's 1/3 of the difference of square, this. So this is what? X minus square root of 6 times, because this is square root of 6 squared, and x plus square root of 6 equals to this. So it is root 6. Your K. What you add or subtract. If 2x plus 8 equals to 16, what is x plus 4? x plus 4, you can find it by dividing by 2, right? You get x plus 4 equals to 8, so answer is 8. In the figure above, MQ, this is equal to NR. Those two sides are equal. And NP, this length, this is equal to QP. Okay. And MP, this is also equal to that. Okay, this and that. So now, what's the measure of angle QMR? QMR, so I'm looking for this. So this one, if this is 60, they add up to, their linear pairs, they add up to 180, so this is 120. And just look at this triangle. Since these two are equal, it's isosceles triangle, meaning these two angles are the same. So if this is 120, 180 minus 120 gives us 60, which is the sum of these two. And those two must be equal because it's isosceles triangle. So when you divide by 2, you get 30 degrees. Okay? 18. The number of radians in 720 degrees angles can be written as a pi. And pi is what? Pi is 180. So what times 180 gives you 720? You can divide by 180 from both sides. Pi is 180. So you get, what? 4, right? 4. 4 times 180 times 4 is 0, 32. 4 times 1 is 720. So it is 4. The graph of the line in xy plane passes through the point 1, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3. And the crosses the x-axis at point 2, 0. 2, 0. So it is down 4 over 1. Slope is down 4 over 1, so negative 4. The line crosses the y-axis at point 0, b. What is b? It must be what? So we usually go left to right, but this one we can go from right to left. So it's 1 over up 4, 1 over up 4. So it must be 4 plus 4, which is 8. Last one. The expression above can be written in the form of ay squared plus b, where ab is constant. What is a plus b? So let's just simplify it. So this is 7532 plus 100 y squared plus, distribute 10, 100 y squared minus 1100. You just add extra zeros, right, when you multiply by 10. So these two combine like terms, 200 y squared, and you're now subtracting 1100, which gives you 6432, still positive, right? So your A must be 200, B is 6432. Question is, what is the sum of those two numbers? So you add 200, so you get 6632. Good.